For as long as civilization has existed, we have known it to be on continents. Now, Pangea was a thing, and now fast forward all the way to the real world of today, the 21st century, we've got 7 continents. But what if I told you there was one that was very, very, very mythical? The only place on the earth that held so much to it that you could essentially say all of the gods lived there. You could say all of the technologies that you could never explain were from there. That these people who resided on this very continent were the reason why humanity progressed as exponentially as it did. They say that this continent was the harbor for a greater life form, for a species that was more advanced than us and is somehow responsible for making sure that we made the evolutionary leap that no other species on this earth could. Known as Lemuria. And why Lemuria, you would ask? Well, because lemurs are only in Madagascar. Yet, Madagascar was connected to India via a land body that was as big as you can contemplate, considering that it linked Madagascar to India. Lemurs were hence a native species of this very land. Hence Lemuria. Makes sense? Of course it does. But here is where things get a little more interesting. So across the Indian folklore and Indian religious text, we come across words like Kumari Kandulam, or a story that was put forth by a Russian clairvoyant. Now, clairvoyant is essentially someone who can see the future, who makes predictions about things that might happen in the near future or might not. You never know. The fact of the matter is that this so-called clairvoyant said that there was an ancient race of bipedals which were coexisting with the dinosaurs. That's how long they've been there, or they had been there until it all went wrong for them. Now, does this theory hold any water whatsoever? Maybe and maybe not. It's hard to say that it does not entirely, and it'll be kind of condescending to say that it does. What is mutually accepted is the fact that there were these blue-skinned gods that were portrayed throughout Indian mythology. And the natives were blue-skinned. Coincidence? I think not. Were known to have 4 arms, like most of the mythical gods of India. The point of the matter is that this was a continent where a different species existed that was not humans. They were way superior to humans and helped us mold our understanding of things, to the point in which we adored them. We looked up to them as gods. But they were mere mortals themselves. A species that was so far intelligent that way back in the day, when humans were still writing on tree barks, they were using nuclear energy. There has been evidence of nuclear glass, trinitite, found across some mythical battlefields across the globe. And one of the major sites for this has been Kurukshetra, where the mythical war of the Mahabharata took place. And ever since that happened, we've been looking at trinitite being found in major amounts. How is that possible? There was no nuclear explosion there that we know of, since we have never tested any nuclear bombs there. A lot of questions, not nearly enough answers. And there's so many more that you want to ask, considering that these are rather weird theories and don't have any solid ground to them. You and I can believe this, but can we back it up in a legit argument? No, we can't. Unless there is more evidence that comes out that suggests that yes, there was this species that existed on that continent. Did the continent exist? Yes, it did. The people, however, the species, the god race, I don't know. There merely isn't enough evidence to back up a report so extensive that you could stand behind it and make a claim as extravagant as this one. Being rather straightforward with what you are standing up for, considering the information that is provided to you, is always the safest bet. So would I say that a continent like this existed that was huge, and if it would have still been on the surface of the water, it would have been a game changer in the concept of the world? Well, unfortunately, the only thing that it's ever going to be ascertained to now is a theory. It's just a theory. Evidence throughout Indian mythology suggests that there were a superior group of species that kept coming and engaging with regular human beings, making their presence felt, ensuring that they're guiding humanity towards the right directions with their concepts, with their thought process. But if that is the case, and if this species was so advanced, then where did they go? How did they just disappear? And why did they just disappear? Did they just cease to exist altogether? Or you're telling me that a species so advanced couldn't survive the fact that their continent was sinking? And even if it happened relatively quickly, a species that advanced could have easily saved themselves. Someone more optimistic than me would rather say that they moved to a different planet, because they knew that now that humanity has been guided, they are going to reach a technological advancement over a period of time wherein they won't understand that it was not in their right hold to be given the technology that they possessed. That they did not just hand over certain advancements to us, even though it would have helped us immensely. That we aren't ready in a way. But who are we to judge? They are the superior species now, aren't they? We are always going to put our ego forward as humanity and be like, how can you judge what we are capable of when you haven't even evaluated us on that much of a scale? You believe that we're a bunch of bipedal apes who knew how to put together a few wires and make a few things. There are advancements today that the government keeps hidden, that the regular Joes will never know. Yet there are such high levels of advancement that they change the whole scale of contemplation of where humanity is ready to stand on a galactic scale, if there is a galactic scale to begin with. If a species like this exists out there, do we stand a chance if we go hostile against them? Zealandia exists. Facts. Back it up all the way. But no evidence of a species that was superior to our own so far. If they did move to another planet, will they come back? Or are they waiting for a sign that shows them that we are ready? Things that may or may not be true. Let me know what you think. See you guys in the next one.